I'm an anxious person. I'm impatient, antisocial, selfish, introverted. I have an addictive personality. Equally, I have a quick temper. Pretty punctual, maybe overly so. And I'm prone to feel paranoia, alienation, depression, and getting in my own head. For writing, it's important to recognize and even embrace your flaws, I feel. You have to get to know them. And if it's too funny or too quick-witted or people get jealous of how pretty you are, those aren't flaws. You're probably a sociopath. And always be wary of hiring those people because they might bury you. Fixing your flaws is important, or working towards fixing them, or even just finding what they are and saying that you'll fix them on a later date, if that's your thing. If you want to be a better person, if you want to be a better lover, if you want to be a better student and anything like that, then fix away. But as the writing process goes, knowing where you lack or knowing these glowing red dots of imperfection are incredibly important for you to put them into your character, to work them out through story, to, here he goes again, to have some therapy when you write. It's one of those things that you can use to your benefit. By embracing them and accepting them, you can get better through your writing. You can make more well-rounded and more accessible and easy to understand and beautiful characters. None of us are perfect. We all have our foibles. Our characters should too. They are sometimes things that seem like cute little quirks to people that just meet us. The temper, maybe truancy, maybe, the way someone clicks their mouth when they speak sometimes. Those things that we end up being left for when they realize that they're still present after a year or 5 or 10. We aren't Mary Sue's in real life. If you don't know what a Mary Sue is, it's the perfect character. It's like the White Knight. We're not Gary Tryhards. We're not Deputy Do-Right and his dickhole brigade. We're normal people. We're not perfect. We have flaws. And personally, I don't want to be friends with someone who's perfect, someone who's the shiny example of what it means to be everything pure and positive in the world, because there's no edge. Those people bore me. Those people make me feel anxious because I don't trust them. I feel like they're going to try and get one over on me at some point, and I don't think that they would like my jokes. I don't think that they would see my sense of humor, which could also be another flaw, my sense of humor. I don't know. It's difficult as well to read about those characters because they're hard to identify with. If they're boring ass, stale ass, plastic smiled characters, you know that their arc is going to be this perfect hill where they have to face adversity and overcome it. It's going to be a boring story. It's going to be the world seen by them. They're just a piece of reflective glass for you to admire the environment or the atmosphere, the ambiance of whatever's going on in the story. They're just these empty vessels. They're straight arrows that are just pointed towards the sky. They're incredibly boring. That's out for me. I want my characters to be troubled with deep-rooted issues. I want them to have to overcome obstacles that are external as well as their own intrinsic flaws. I want them to be depraved. I want them to be rusty and crusty and gutter and gully and grimy. I want my characters to be a little closer to me than not. I want to be able to feel and adopt what they're going through. I want to know what they're going through. I want to feel their struggle. I want them to be worthy of ridicule, and I want to see how they deal with the criticism from other characters. I don't want them to just benignly glide through the story and just have things that happen in spite of them. A character with flaws, it adds a shade of reality because it's just like real life. You're invested in your life. You can become invested in these characters just as easily. You recognize that they might be selfish or spoiled or self-absorbed or any number of negative qualities, but you might feel with them and feel for them. It might make you hate them. It might make you love them. but you're gonna feel something. You're gonna smile. You're gonna blow a raspberry when they're talking. You're gonna connect on a more emotional and spiritual level with them. They're gonna intertwine themselves with your heart because they are you, or they are something you hate. They're something that you feel about is the answer. No matter what they do, no matter what feeling they give to you, they become real. They become as real as your friends and family do. They become as real as life itself. That is where a story really starts to impact you, is when you can look at it with this sense of affiliation, this attachment to the character and what they go through. I may have repeated myself, but it's so important to just create believable characters, to create ones that the audience can identify with, or conversely have no idea what's going through that person's head. They can be someone that's entirely different, going through these entirely different situations, and they might deal with them differently. You can look at that and analyze it after the fact, a little post-mortem. And quite frankly, if you were perfect, if young boy Alex was perfect, life would be boring. Life would just be this straight path. Life would be boring, your character would be boring, and your story would be fucking boring. So recognize and embrace the flaws, especially in writing, and maybe fix yourself too up while you're at it.